Hello and welcome back to my channel. Saturday's come around again, doesn't it come round quickly? So I've been to group this morning and again I believe I got the result I deserved. Now last week I was £2 out under the bottom of my target. I stuck to plan as normal and it is normal for me now. I had my 2 A's, my 2 B's, between 5 and 10 sins. I think I averaged 8 this week and I got a £1 gain, which is good. I'm now only £1 out from under my target. Now to get that £1 gain, I didn't make any drastic changes at all. I had potatoes, just ordinary potatoes, a couple of times included in my meal. I had sweet potato in some soup that we made, and I had 1 portion of mango, which is a free food but not a speed food, and I generally eat speed fruits. So yeah, no drastic changes, no major quantities of eating in excess, no coming off plan, and a £1 gain. That's how easy it is to gain weight if you need to. Well, that's how easy it is for me. But I felt like I'm doing it safely, I'm doing it slowly, and hopefully next week I will be back in target. I could have gone mad, gone off plan and had a £2 or £3 gain in 1 week and bang, back into target and don't have to pay. But that wouldn't work for me today, because if I go mad and go off plan, who's to say I'd ever get back on it again? I know the sort of head games I can play. So I'm really happy with my result this week. Walked 34.62 miles, again trying to hit an average of 35, so I didn't miss it by very far. And most of that was uphill. Because we're not walking as far now, we're actually focusing on walking uphill. And I love it. I really love to push myself up the steepest hills at speed. In the old days, somebody else would have had to push me, literally. But it really does something for your, do they call it endorphins in your brain or whatever? When I come back from that kind of walk, I feel pumped up, energetic, and so much better for doing it. So I'm enjoying that. In fact, we'll be going out in a while and doing it again. Right, I'm going to do an experiment on myself this week, which is not strictly 100% Slimming World, but I'm sharing it before I do it, and we can see what results I get from doing it. Joe and I have talked quite a lot lately about the fact that he uses and eats coconut oil. Extra virgin organic coconut oil. Joe, I wonder if you might get that jar that I bought the other day so I can show it, the Morrison's one. Thanks. What I've decided to do, instead of having 2 A choices and using them strictly on dairy, because I'm not bothered about having milk and cheese every day, I'm going to replace one of those A choices with a tablespoon of this extra virgin organic coconut oil, because I think it has genuine health benefits. One of the things I've been looking at on the internet this week, Joe will put a link actually to the article, the main article I've been reading, is about the fact that coconut can help you get rid of belly fat. Now, I don't think I have an excess of belly fat anymore, but I do know that the one place I'd like another inch off is around my waist. The sides of my waist, my jeans are sitting on bone, but there is a bit in the middle that could disappear. So instead of having cheese this week, I will stick with my goat's milk, but instead of having cheese, I'm going to replace it with a tablespoon of coconut oil, which is 6 sins. So in effect, it's the same sin value as an A choice. Approximately 120, 130 calories, 6 sins. Let's see how I go. As I say, this is not strictly Slimming World. I'm not encouraging anybody else to do it. I just want to try it on my body and see how that works. So I'll feed back on that next Saturday, and maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. I might have a bigger gain next week, but we'll see. If you can't experiment on yourself, who can you experiment on? I'm going to be a lab rat. Right. There's been a lot of talk.
You didn't show the coconut oil.
Oh, I'm sitting here with it in my hand. Because some dizzy so and so. Right, here we go. Is that on camera?
No. Turn it. No, the other way. Sorry.
That way?
Yeah.
Coconut oil can be quite expensive. You can pay between £5 and £10 a jar for a lot of it. Now this one is, as I said, organic and extra virgin, which I think is probably the way to go. This one in is it Morrison's Own, Joe?
Yeah.
£2.98, which is an extremely good buy. And not only can you eat it, you can put it in your coffee. It's nice if you put a teaspoon in black coffee. You can rub it in your skin. It's antibacterial, I don't know what all the words are. I don't know what they mean anyway, but
it's antifungal.
Antifungal.
So you're not going to get mushrooms.
You can't grow mushrooms in it. It does all sorts of amazing things. Again, there's a lot of stuff on the internet if you want to read about it. Very powerful stuff, and I know a lot of my friends, especially ladies in sort of my age category, have found great results with their skin. It's also apparently really, really good for your hair. Now, I have, I suppose, quite naturally oily hair, so I've never needed it in my hair, but I think I'm going to give it a go this week in a few different ways and see how I go with it. But that particular brand to me seems like a very good buy at £2.98. Right, I'll move on now, Joe. I think I've said that, haven't I? This week there's been a lot of discussion on YouTube and in group this morning about a programme that was on Channel 4 midweek. Now, I didn't watch that programme because I don't have a television, I don't do television. And I did watch a video by Andy Nev, and I think Isa touched on it, and I'm told that Patrick's done a video on it, which I haven't watched yet, but this morning in group, several people were talking about it, and everybody seems to be arms up and horrified. And although I didn't watch the programme, I do have an opinion on this losing and regaining weight issue. And I say I didn't watch the programme. I don't know. Very one-sided is what I've heard it was from a lady I was talking to in group this morning. Extremely one-sided. And it did feature a young lady apparently from Slimming World. And she'd lost weight and regained it. I don't want to comment on the programme. I don't have a right to comment on something I haven't watched. But what I do want to comment on is this particular issue of losing weight and regaining weight. Now, I've done that more times than I care to remember. I've shared before that whenever I've gone to Slimming World, and that has been numerous times over 40 years, I never ever got to target. But it wasn't unusual for me to lose 3 stone, 4 stone, 5 stone. But whenever I did, and then I reverted to my normal, in quotes, way of eating, I would gain 4 stone, 5 stone, 6 stone. I did at one period lose almost 8 stone on a weight loss plan. But it took me 8 months to lose it, but I put it back on in less than 6. And I'll tell you why I did that and why I assume lots of other people do the same thing. It's because when I came to Slimming World in the past, I always treated it as a diet. I never saw it as a permanent change to my lifestyle. I saw it as a temporary measure. And I've shared before on my videos, to me the word diet always stood for, dare I eat this? Once I was off the diet, I didn't give a toss whether I dare eat it or not. If I wanted it, I went back to having it. Now, the difference for me this time is that I've changed my lifestyle. I'm not on a diet. I don't even think of it as Operation Starvation or deprivation. I see this as an absolutely wonderful, marvellous way of living and eating and being free from all the problems I had around food. And believe me, I've had a lot of problems around food. Eating disorders, compulsions, obsessions. I've had it all, and I've fallen victim to it all, and a lot of it I've used as excuses in the past for being the way I was, because there was a period in my life where being fat felt like wearing a protective coat, and it kept the world away from me. I'm glad today I don't need that protective coat, but there was a time when I did. I had to do what I had to do back then, Today I have to do something different if I want to stay where I am. There's a young man who makes videos called Stu Unwin, and he's focusing on his weight loss journey, and he's lost in excess of 5 stone. Now Stu calorie counts, and he's very much a statistician and shares with us numbers, and I love numbers. And I was messaging Stu in the week, and I said, come on, what to call him, Mr. Statistic, give me the statistics on the weight I've lost. And he told me, you've lost 56% of your body weight. And I'm like, you know, it still amazes me. I'm actually proud of myself today, because that's the truth, isn't it? When somebody who works as an auditor tells you genuinely, officially, Jane, you've lost 56% of your body weight. That's real. It's actually starting to feel real to me. But then I thought, you know, on the other hand, if I've lost 56% of my body weight, I now weigh 44% of what I used to weigh. That feels even more powerful. One thing I've been thinking of in group this week, after listening to this programme being discussed, was how many people do I know from Slimming World who've lost weight, got to target and kept it off in the couple of years nearly that I've been there? Quite a lot. But all of those people come back to group every Saturday. They don't come every 4 weeks like you're entitled to as a minimum. You can, as long as you check in every 4 weeks, you stay as a free member. They come every week. I know a number of people who've got to target, decided they've cracked it and gone, but within the last year, some of them have been back with quite significant weight gains. Now, I was saying to Joe earlier, it strikes me that there are kind of 2 types of main people who want to lose weight. There are 2 main categories. There's a category for the person who's never had a problem with food. Food's always been a very normal thing to them. But maybe they've got married, or maybe they've had a baby, or maybe they've moved in with a significant other and they've had a weight gain. And then they sort of realise when the honeymoon period is over, I don't feel comfortable, my clothes are tight. So they make a decision and they join Slimming World or Weight Watchers, or they go on a calorie controlled diet and they shed that surplus, that excess stone or stone and a half. And then they revert to the way they ate before they got married, or before they had the baby, or before they moved in with a significant other. And they never had a weight problem back then because they never had a problem with food. Now, I'm not that kind of weight loss person. I'm the kind of weight loss person who had a problem with food. And the reason I was fat was not because I got married, which I did along the journey, was not because I had a baby, which I did along the journey, was not because I moved in with my significant other, which I did along the journey. The reason I was fat was because I had a very unhealthy relationship with food. And to get to where I've got on this weight loss plan, and I'm now standing at about 172, 173 pounds lost, which is about 12 stone. Let me think where I'm at.
I think 170 is 11 stone.
Is it?
Oh,
well,
wait,
anyway,
no,
I'm about
sorry.
12 stone
I'm
4.
thinking 70 kilograms.
Yeah, I'm about
Not
12 stone 4
170
lost. And I weigh 9 stone 10 today, I think. Yeah, I'm 9 stone 10, I've lost 12 stone 4. If I ever stop doing what I'm doing today, which is living the Slimming World plan 100%, I believe there's only one outcome for this. I will go up. I've proved it this week just by adding some potato to my diet in a controlled way, some mango to my diet, some sweet potato. I gained a pound, which was good. It was controlled. I'm going to where I need to be. I need to gain another pound. But you know, this week, if I'd decided on Saturday night to have a Chinese, on Monday night to go out for a meal, on Tuesday to have 2 bags of crisps and what are these bars everybody raves about? Fibre One bar. If I'd done that this week, I could have gone back to group this morning, and I'm not exaggerating, 5 pounds heavier. Because that's how easy it is for me to gain weight. I'm not saying this is true of everybody. I'm not trying to frighten anyone. It's a reality for me. If I want to stay where I am, I've got to follow this plan 100%, 7 days a week. And that is becoming really normal for me.
But it doesn't hurt to experiment.
No, but I'm still experimenting within boundaries. I'm only experimenting with the 6 sin value of an A choice. I'm not adding calories. I don't add calories, I'll be honest with you. I am not risking gaining weight. Not excessively. I hope to God you never hear me coming on here saying I'm on plan, I'm off plan, I'm on plan, I'm off plan. Because if ever I do that, please, someone get the first train to Nottingham and slap me around the head. I can't afford to do that today. It's such a powerful thing when you have problems with food, which I do. I'm greedy, I'm obsessive, I'm compulsive. I can eat for emotional reasons and all of those things. Bit by bit, I'm overcoming that. But they are never going to go away 100%. Those feelings, those needs, that greed, it never goes away 100%. You've got to master it or it will master you. And that's my experience. Now, as I say, this may not be true for other people. I know I have quite a few people who comment regularly on my channel who are living at Target. And it would be interesting to hear if anybody finds it possible to go back to their old way of eating. I would be very surprised. I really would be very surprised. Now, the young lady that everybody's talking about from the programme on Channel 4, it seems to me that this young lady lost her weight and then just simply went back to her old way of eating. And you'll gain it a hell of a lot faster than you'll lose it. I always remember years ago my GP describing fat cells in my body to me and saying, you know, you've had a big weight problem. You are never going to be free from this. You've got to focus on this for the rest of your life. And as a GP, I had a great deal of respect for. But he said to me, can you visualise, he said, a sheet of bubble wrap. And one by one, we pop those bubbles and the fat diminishes from your body. But don't ever kid yourself, Jane. Those fat cells are still waiting there, ready for you to fill them again. Now, I don't know whether that was a genuine medical explanation, and if that is the truth, that the empty fat cells are sitting there, waiting to be refilled, or whether what Dr. McCulloch was referring to was just a way of making me realise how easy it would be to blow up and expand again. But I've always kept that in mind because I can relate to that. I can visualise that. And I know that if this weekend I chose to take the weekend off, which there isn't long off for me, but you know what I mean. If I chose to revert back to the Jane I was 5 or 6 years ago and have a weekend of that, I know that I could gain half a stone without even trying. I've done it so many times. But I know for me today what this plan, the Slimming World plan is not a diet. It's a lifestyle. I never need to come off it because it's the way I choose to live today. I don't want to come off it. I wouldn't choose to come off it, and I don't need to come off it because I can eat whatever I want to eat within this plan. But yeah, if anybody would like to comment below and share for encouragement to other people, how long have you been at Target and how long have you managed to stay there? I think it's inspiring. I had a lovely comment this morning just before I came on. I was answering it from a young lady called Helen who has said, you know, I'm enjoying your videos. I've been at Target for over a year. That is so encouraging. I mean, let's see. Whoever watches this video this week and is at Target and would like to comment and tell us, we don't need to know what you weigh or anything like that or how much you've lost unless you want to tell us, but tell us, how long have you been at Target? Because this is encouraging to other people.
Yeah, I think, funnily, yeah, well, sorry to jump across you, but like, I think funnily it's important to like be positive about things and not just focus on the negatives of stuff, because like losing weight's already kind of hard enough. Yeah. So why focus on the like negatives of it. You know what I mean? Like mind frame is a massive, like
get the right mindset.
Yeah, mindset is a factor, and like being positive is like a factor, because they all have like even smiling will release hormones and stuff like that in your body that all has a beneficial effect. Yeah. So just smiling makes you think better, makes you choose better options, makes you feel better. Yeah, so like if you focus on the positives of losing weight rather than the, you know what I mean, the negative program.
Well, I think that was the thing, that program was negative. But you know what we should have done? Well, I believe what people should have done was use that on-off switch. We don't have to watch stuff
turn it
like
off and go for a walk.
Turn it off and go for a walk. Don't watch trash like that. They know that people like us who are obsessed with our weight, who need to lose weight, are going to be sucked in to watch stuff like that. And I know Andy shared in his video that a lot of people have been quite strongly affected and were kind of mindset, I might as well quit, I can't do it. Yes, you can do it.
Yeah, don't let someone else's story be your story.
For 40 years I said I couldn't do it. The moment I started to say I can do this, and I started to believe that, and believing it came eventually from keeping telling myself it, that's when it started to work. And you can do it. I can do it. We can all do it, and we can keep the weight off. But it's not easy. You've got to work at it.
What does your little stone say?
One day at a time.
No days off.
It's when you keep taking the days off. It's when you keep coming on and off plan. I've done it, been there, got the t-shirt at the pie. That's when I was off plan. It's when you go to group and then have a cheat meal or a treat meal. Call it whatever you like, it's still not on plan. If you seriously want the weight loss, and you seriously want to keep that weight off, you've got to change your lifestyle. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh yeah, stuff your face on, get weighed on a Wednesday, stuff your face with fish and chips, it'll be all right by next Wednesday. You can pull it back. Why the bloody hell would you want to pull it back when you can keep marching forward? I feel so passionately about this, and Joe's often said to me, I can see you holding back sometimes. I don't want to hold back. If you're on this journey and you are taking strides or baby steps forward, and that's taking you down in your weight loss, why would you want to have a cheat meal after group and take 2 steps back? Why would you want to, I can't be bothered to cook tonight, let's have a takeaway, 2 steps back? If you're doing that, the only person whose weight loss you're damaging is your own. And again, I'm saying this from experience. I did it for 40 years.
Yeah, you just see it differently.
What a bloody waste of time. Joe said to me one day when we were out walking, and he was quite choked up at the time, Mum, why didn't you do this sooner? Now, I'm 60. You may be 25, 35, 45. It doesn't matter how old you are. If you do it today and you do it again tomorrow and the next day, your weight will keep coming down. If you keep treating yourself, and I hate that word, treating yourself with meals off plan, who's kidding who? When I have meals off plan, I'm not treating myself, I'm cheating myself. I'm not cheating Slimming World. The longer I pay them to go to group, the better it is for them. That's how they make their money. I'm cheating myself. And the more I keep indulging, or the more I kept, I don't do it anymore, the more I kept indulging in cake and biscuits and trigger foods and chips and pizza and popcorn and junk, the longer it took me to lose weight, because it took me a long time to shed those addictions to sugar. I don't have them today. And I'm not super, I'm not special, but they go away. If you put them down and walk away from them, every step you take away from things like that, you get stronger. Your taste changes. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing, the changes that happen within you. And I hear so many people say, oh, I had a craving for this, I had a craving for that. The further you move away from those substances, the less you crave them. And it's a natural process. You don't even have to think about doing it. Just don't pick it up today, then don't pick it up again tomorrow. And after about 14 days, the habit's broken. But if you keep feeding habits, and one of the things I am really, really passionate about, Fibre One bars, what are they if they're not cake? And I said to Joe, I don't eat things like that because I got fat on cake. I'm not going to get thin on cake. I'm not going to stay thin on cake. That to me, and I'm not judging anybody else, I'm talking about my journey. If I said today I'm going to buy a box of, my choice of the 3 flavours would be lemon drizzle. I'm going to buy a box of lemon drizzle bars because I love lemon drizzle cake, real lemon drizzle cake. I'm going to buy a box of these bars. All I would be doing was simulating cake. There's no point. Don't need cake today. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with that thought. Do you need cake today? Do you need to put squirty cream, is it called, on a Fibre One bar to pretend you're having a pudding? I'd question myself why I needed to do that today. But I thank God I don't need to. Not for today. Forgive me if I sound judgmental. I'm judging myself. Because if I don't keep judging myself and I don't keep myself on the right track, I'm not going to keep 12 stone plus off my body. So, yeah, that's my story. The only person whose weight I can affect is mine. And nobody else's weight is my business. But I just want to share how I've got, where I've got, and how I'm staying here. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Looking forward to some encouraging comments. And if you will, share with us how long you've been at Target. It would be wonderful. Love to all of you. Thanks for watching. And remember, it works if you work it. It won't if you don't. Cheers.